okubanga netondera abagoberezi bange bonna abashamim Malende okuba nti abantu awasinga awamu naddala ku social media temukyandaba kubanga sikyalina wenteeka mirimu gyange. Page yange eri official eya Shamim Malende ya blue tick yawambibwa. Emotoka yange UBK Toyota Harrier 862 yawambibwa. Emotoka yange Super Custom UBD 805N yawambibwa. Era n'obulamu bwange ng'omubaka buli mu matigga olw'okutiisibwa okunkoleddwako, ate nga ekisinga okunakuwaza nti neetaaga kubanga nsabirwa. Nsaba bannakampala mwenna abanteekamu obwesige ne bannayuganda abakyanninamu okukkiriza mubeere nga munsabira. Obulumi buno bwonna ne page gye nabadde nziguddewo eya Shamim Malende ESQ abantu bange gye badde mutandise okugoberera nayo yawambiddwa. Era ne social media accounts zange zonna okuli Twitter, TikTok, Instagram ne YouTube ezo nazo essaawa yonna zisobola okuvaako nazo ne ziwambibwa. Bino byonna ekiruma nga bintuusibwako omuntu gwe mbadde mpita mukwano gwange oba gwe nalaga ensi ng'omwami wange. Era ng'essaawa eno ndi mu buwambe olw'ensonga nti materials ze nnina okukozesa oba tools of work ezisinga obungi yaziwamba n'abeera ng'azisigazza. N'olwekyo njagala okutegeeza eggwanga lyonna, bannayuganda bonna, bannakampala bonna nti yenna akolagana ne mukwano gwange oyo abadde mukwano gwange oba abadde omwami wange, bw'oba okolagana naye nga ggwe. Takyalina kintu kyonna kya Shamim Malende kyabeeranga akwasaganya kubanga buli omu ali ku lulwe. Kino kibadde kya buvunaanyizibwa olw'ensonga nti buli kintu kyonna nali nakimuyingizaamu, social pages zange nazimuyingizaamu, famire yange, mikwano gyange, abawagizi bange, badayihadzi bange, buli kimu ng'akirimu. Kumpi nga bw'olaba face ye oba olowooza nti olabye Shamim Malende. N'olwekyo kinkakatako nga omukulembeze wammwe okujja ne mbategeeza embeera mwendi. Njagala okukoowola bannayuganda mwenna gye muli, abo abalina obumanyirivu ku nsonga za social media oba kye bayita okusobola okulwana okuzza page z'omuntu oba social handles z'omuntu, musobole okuba nga munnyambako okusobola okuzza page zino kubanga nzikoleredde emyaka egisukka 8 nga ngizimbye. Era abantu bange ne bwe mba nkoze emirimu temukyasobola kulengera nti kuliko ekitambulirako wadde nga bemusaakinga nga musobola okugiraba, naye siina kyensobola kuteekako kubanga buli kimu kyatwalibwa. So njagala kubeera nga nnoonya obwenkanya mu ngeri etali yakutyoboola, etali yakusibisa muntu yenna, mu ngeri etali ya bulyaza amaanyi, naye mu ngeri at least pages zange, at least tools of work zibeere nga zinzirizibwa mu butali bulyaza amaanyi okusobola okugenda mu maaso abantu bange nga byenkola basobola okubeera nga babiraba. Essaawa eno tukola buli kye tusobola okulaba nga pages ezo zikomawo. Ebirala bingi ndi mukyala muganda nze Shamim Malende neddira mmamba, sisobola kubyasanguza mu maaso gammwe kubanga ate omukulu nina omulekera ekitiibwa. Ekitiibwa kinaasigala nakyo ate nange nensigaza ekyekyange. N'olwekyo sijja kwogera bingi, naye Allah yasinga okubeera nga amanya. Nsaba mubeere nga munsabira era buli asobola okunnyambako abeere nga nnyambako okufuna pages zino. ebyobugagga si nsonga omuntu asobola okutwala buli kyayagala naye tools of work okuli pages zange ba followers kwe bali nsaba kama Katonda ansaasire zibeere nga zikomawo essaawa eno ekigenda okukolebwa tusobola okuddirayo ddala ku zero ne tuddamu nga bwe tulwana okugyayo pages ziri n'ebirala okuzimba akaunti za Shamim Malende bupya nga tutandika ne zero following nga ate bwe tulwanirira mu bwerufu ne mu bwenkanya ne mu kuwangana ekitiibwa okulaba nga ezo ezawambiddwa nga bizikomezebwawo ekyemmotoka kiyinza obutaba nsonga n'alinnya booda n'akozesa ekiriwo naye nga nze emyaka gyange gyonna ngimaze nga ngezaako okukola empowerment eya mukwano gwange oyo asobole okubeera nga buli kimu kitambula bulungi. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala.
Abalungi abatuwuliriza era abatulaba olunaku olwaleero tukyaddeko ewa Sheikh Ashraf Dembe.
Sebo nsanyusa okubalaba. Amannya agange Seeka Ashraf Dembe akola ku bizibu by'enjawulo. Omuntu singa aba alina ebirwadde musomereddwa tunywa amazzi ga lukuya nga bw'obadde ogalaba tugenda abantu ku kyoto ne twokya emizimu emibi egibabaamu n'okulomba edduwa abantu singa abeera ng'ali wano atuuse sobola okumulombera edduwa ne waba atatuuse nga mpadde amannya ge naye ng'ali wala neetaase enamba yange yeeno eri 0707763711 nammwe bannyinaffe abali ebweru oyagala okuba nti oyagala okulombera ku dduwa ng'olina ebizibu viza zibuze amaka gakolongotana sente zikola zimpita mu ngalo ojja kumpeereza ekifaananyi kyo n'amanyago ebyo byokka bijja kummala nja kukulombera edduwa ojja kutereera olunaku olusembayo mu mwezi mba n'edduwa eyawamu ffenna n'abalwadde bange abakadde n'abapya. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The minister was already stated such by not going through the matters that could be internal affairs of the NRM handled by the tribunal, but there are those broad issues, right, Honourable Speaker, that are cross-cutting and on which side of either you stand, they are here for Ugandans, and as a result, Honourable Speaker, I'll just talk about those that concern all of us, irrespective. Right, Honourable Speaker, the issue about violence meted out to the people, to the voters, and the systematic way, I pity and I don't envisage what is coming, whereby, for instance, there was a communication blackout, telephone masts were hacked, and we couldn't communicate. Some were vandalized, and those who were able to communicate were communicating using military walkie-talkies. So for them, they continued to communicating on walkie-talkies, whereas we had communication blackout, the ordinary one we use. Right, Honourable Speaker, we had more than 40 commonly known as drones with covered number plates and double cabins with covered number plates. But on top of that, on top of those who are putting on civilians in those vehicles, there were the outright use of military vehicles, particularly the notorious lorry H4DF 3329, with combat-ready soldiers driving around in support of those Nkoni squad meaning people who are wielding sticks. Right, Honourable Speaker, using live ammunition, the use of live ammunition, and the creation of a barracks that isn't known in our police statements, because barracks are set up by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. But in the Wenyaga case, a barracks was set up to incarcerate abducted election coordinators and agents. Madam Speaker, was happening. And that cannot be an individual action. That cannot be a general Ashande action. You see, it has now moved from individual competition to adversaries, to enemies, to belligerents. In a country where there is no insurgency, there is no inactivity to warrant the establishment of a military barracks. But sadly, Right Honourable Speaker and members, on the 26th of April, we were having a peaceful rally, and soldiers came driving in a military truck, the H4DF 3329, disembarked, and started shooting at us. They first shot down up, changing magazines. At that time, once you are being shot at from a distance of 5 meters, you can't run. You stand to die. You can't run. I can't say I was strong-hearted, but it doesn't give you room to run, even if you wanted to. But now there is this young man who said, Honorable, they've come to kill you. He came and stood in front of me. And I thought, I pushed him away, Vako. Meaning, get away from me. Because he himself had life. Little did I know that as I was pushing him,
weesiimye mattu oli wa mukisa okukira abalala. Omugugu gw'ebizibu by'ettaka gukutikuddwa Brand Property Services Limited ku lw'ettaka eritaliiko nkaayana. Ennyumba eziwedde okuzimbibwa wamu n'ez'okupangisa, apartments ez'okupangisa wamu n'okugula mu mawanga ag'enjawulo okuli Uganda, Kenya, Bungereza, Dubai, America wamu ne Canada. Okuddaabiriza ennyumba oba ebizimbe byo, property management n'abasaveya abakugu abataakufere. Twekwate ku nsonga zonna ezekuusa ku by'ettaka nga kw'otadde n'okugobera ku kyapa kyo. Kati pazo y'eby'ettaka ebadde kukaluubiriza egonjoddwa bw'okwataganye naffe. Tukubire ku noti 703 824 noti 79 oba noti 773 26 58 noti, oba otusange ku MT House omwaliiro ogusooka room 5 ewazana ku Entebbe Road okuliraana ekizimbe kya Muguluma Empire. Tukyalireko ne ku website yaffe www.brandpro.co.ug. Brand Pro Property Services Limited, tutuukiriza birooto.
A bullet hit my finger and it took him, shattered his heart, and he collapsed. Bankuye essasi. He died on the spot. That bullet was meant for me because my shirt, my yellow movement shirt, was split with blood of that Fred Sembusi. It is agonizing that you can't even sleep to know you would not be here, you would be dead. You can't be sure you would be here. I knew I would be dead. Once you realize the circumstances of Fred Sembusi's death. But most painful, the culprit, Lieutenant Ziwa, who came aboard that truck and was coming. At first, himself, he didn't have the rifle in his hands. He moved and picked one from one of the soldiers. He came and held it under his armpit, and he turned and released the bullet that shot Sembusi, Right Honourable Speaker and members. Now the issue, the killer soldier, Lieutenant Ziwa, maintained his barracks at Remiyaga. He continued there, and today he's in Remiyaga. He's the same Zua who even shot at us on the 17th when we were having NRM primaries, shattering the glasses of my vehicle. The same person. So untouchable. I remember at the burial of Sembusi, the commandant of the mechanized division massacre, Major General Sandy, assured the mourners that Lieutenant Zua is being held by Yame for interrogation. It was a lie. He's still around. He even shot at me on 17th again. Even the chairman's elections, he was still there commanding the operations. And to this, Right Honourable Speaker, those who know the president's intolerance with the use of the gun, how did we arrive at this? For a person to kill, injuring an MP, But also there is another Moses Tebengana, had 8 stitches on his head. He was so lucky that the bullet only went through the skin of the head. It is his vein that got ruptured. It bleeded for 2 days, but now he's okay. But how come that the guns that are supposed to be protecting civilians are being turned against the people? Right, fellow speaker and members, when all this is said and done, the level of impunity, the soldiers who retired took command. They were not merely opponents, but they took command of the UPDF. There is General Phineas Katirima, and that General Phineas Katirima is the one who even abducted the polling officials and removed the election materials. But the last one, right, Honorable Speaker, before the last election, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Bias Byakagaba, came to Sembabule and assured all of us that the President of Uganda, His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, had taken a decision to withdraw the army and allow the police to take the lead. But what we witnessed was the total reverse. The army came back with vengeance. I remember when they were shooting at us, the police ran away. They abandoned us. And wherever the army could appear, the police would somehow find their way out and drive away. And we have the generals, General Phineas Katirima, General Emmanuel Rashad, who is the candidate, but turned into commanding the UPDF. He's the one who ordered Ziwa to go and clear us. And when the officer went back and reported to him, he said, I thought you had killed someone. You killed a dog. That Sechkubo was never killed because somebody else was killed.
Thank you. Honorable Sechkubo.
Yes.
The statement that you're giving is under Rule 57. That's a personal explanation. We're not in the House. So bring that personal explanation. We look at it, then we shall give you a chance to present it to the House. But that does not mean, can you sit down?
Basawo banyabo mbagala nnyo era mbaniriza ku Uganda Eyenkya nze muzzukulu wa Gamunga Moses Wamala ndi munnamawulire era ndafuubana nnyo okulanga buli munnayuganda afuna obwenkanya ssaako n'okufuna buli kimu nga bwe kigwanidde okubeera gamba ng'ebyobulamu ebyenjigiriza n'ebirala. Wabula baleetedde amawulire ag'essanyu era amalungi okuva mu Ohio Health Center. Lino nno ddwaliro eryazimbibwa emyezi 6 egiyise emabega. Ne mu myezi egyo ngenzo dirambulako ng'ebintu eby'enkizo ebikoleddwa biyitirivu nnyo gamba nga okuwa obuweereza n'obujjanjabi obw'obwereere eri abakadde b'eggwanga lyattu Uganda oba abakuliridde mu myaka. Abakadde abasobera ddala mu 300 be baweereddwa obujjanjabi, eddagala, okukeberebwa ssaako n'emmere eri ku mutindo okusinziira ku bulamu bwabwe eyo gye beetaagira ddala. Era kinsanyusiza ne kimpa akamwenyumwenyu n'essuubi. Wabula bakantemye nti mu myezi mitono nnyo kino kigenda kubeera nga kikoma olw'ensonga nti eddwaliro lino liri mu kazito oba lyetissa akazito ak'amaanyi ennyo ak'okubeera nga eddagala erina okujjanjaba abakadde bano, emmere, ebikozesebwa, emisaala gy'abasawo byonna bibali mu bulago. Eddwaliro terisobola kubikola bino byonna nga liyimiriddewo ku muntu omu. Tukkiriza nti bannayuganda ffenna nga twegasse wamu tusobola okuteeka akamwenyumwenyu ku bakadde ab'eggwanga lyattu Uganda okuwangaalira aba abawangaalira mu bitundu bino Mukono, Namataba, abava Lugazi n'ebitundu ebiriraanyeewo. Be nasanze olwaleero batindigga eŋŋendo empitirivu okujja okwefunira ku bujjanjabi obw'obwereere n'eddagala ery'obwereere. Wabula nzikiriza nti bwe tusaayo ffenna kye tulina ne tudonatinga oba okufundraisinga kyonna kye tulina tusobola okuyimirizaawo eddwaliro lino emyezi egirijja, emyaka egirijja okubeera nga lyetengerera okufuna obusobozi n'embavu okulabirira abakadde bano, okubawa eddagala lye beetaaga buli mwezi, bakebera, beetaaga ebyuma kalimagezi olumu ebibatawaanya bibeetaaga okuyingiza. Nzikiriza bangi abali eyo mu UK, mu America, Canada, abali e China, Belgium, Germany nawa. Eyinza okubaayo omuntu alina ekyuma oba eddagala lyewandyagadde okudonetinga eri eddwaliro lino erya Ohio Health Center ligende okujjanjaba abalwadde bano n'okubalabirira, okubabuddaabudda n'okubawa byonna. Sinakindi osobola okukozesa omukutu gwaffe ogwa GoFundMe okuwaayo ensimbi zonna z'olina. Osobola okukozesa mobile money ku namba y'essimu eyo, account number ku namba y'essimu eyo, Western Union, PayPal, MoneyGram. Ebyo osobola okubikola ng'okubidde oba ng'oyogerezeganyizaamuuko ne eddwaliro lino okumanya details ze weetaaga okusobola okuwaayo obweyamu bwo oba donation yo. $1, $2, $10, $5 zisobola okuwanirira eddwaliro lino n'abakadde okubawa akamwenyumwenyu mwanatu n'okwekkiririzaamu n'okubawa essuubi saako n'okusanyukira mu myaka gyabwe egy'obukadde nga balamu bulungi ate era nga basobola okukola ebyo byennyini ebigenda mu maaso okugasa eggwanga Uganda. Nkwebaza nnyo ng'owaayo donation yo oba obubaka bwo, obuyambi bwo obw'ebyuma, eddagala, emmere n'ebirala eri eddwaliro lino okusobola okutambuza omulimu guno ogw'obwannakyewa emyaka gyonna. Nze Moses Wamala nkwebaza nnyo okubeera nga okola ekyo ate era Mukama Katonda akunjagalire era akunkuumire ng'oweereza kyonna ky'olina okusobola okutuusa omulimu guno n'okugutwala mu maaso.
Uganda Eyenkya.
That does not mean that we should not investigate this. We will ask government, Honorable Bua, government, there is a Minister General. We will ask government to investigate this, but I will need a personal explanation from you. We'll go through and then we shall give you space to come and present.
I want to thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for your communication. Firstly, it was about the roads. I'm glad that we are on the same page even with colleagues now. A couple of months ago, Honorable Speaker, we were here talking about the shambolic state of our roads in Kampala and different parts of the country. Some colleagues said we were politicizing these matters, but the reality is that our roads are in a mess. During our alternative ministerial policy statement presentation, specifically the one on roads, we said, look, let's inject more money to fix our roads, to maintain our roads. That has got to be done. And Honorable Speaker, while some roads are in bad state, there are some roads that are totally impassable. Some districts in this country, one cannot easily cross over from one district to another because the roads are totally impassable. Where there is meant to be a bridge, the bridge broke down a long time ago. And so there is a total disconnect between one district to another. We need to fix these issues. When we talk about them, colleagues, stop saying this is politics. It is not politics because we are all affected. We hope that government will wake up the reality to fix these issues. Honorable Speaker, I want to again join you in, I don't know whether to congratulate colleagues that went through their processes successfully. And the reason is we are waiting for them around the corner. So enjoy that win while it lasts because we are surely waiting for you around the corner. But I also want to commiserate and console those that did not make it. May the good Lord strengthen you. Honorable Speaker, you see, it's important for our electoral processes, first of all, to be violence-free. We've been talking about colleagues that survived violence, Honorable Sechukuwo and others. The Prime Minister was slapped or punched or both. But at least she's alive, right, Honorable Speaker. There are several people who died
during these NRM primaries in various districts. And we are yet to see justice prevail. You know, many times people die, people are killed, and we easily move on. This has got to stop. And so for me, I condemn this. Even though those that died are NRM supporters, they are Ugandans. And we hope that whoever participated in these killings gets to be brought to book. Because if that does not happen, right, Honourable Speaker, we are going to see a repeat or even worse in the upcoming general elections. So action has got to be taken. Because if that doesn't happen, those who killed, now that was just during the NRM primaries, at the grand scale, it's probably going to be worse. We have got to condemn this, and action has got to be taken. Honourable Speaker, we have said severally that it's important for our electoral processes, our democratic processes, to exude integrity. And some colleagues laugh at those issues and say, well, you opposition people, each time you talk about this, it's because you're always losing. I saw powerful people, I saw ministers crying, saying I have been rigged out. These are things that we have always talked about. Of course, now it's happening in your home. But that's what happens nationally. We need to work towards electoral process integrity. And look, even the current laws, and we are waiting for the regulations coming from the Minister of Justice. But you see, even our current jurisprudence as it is, if we were to follow it to the letter, our laws don't allow, for example, for the military to get involved in electoral processes. That's the law as it exists today. But the military keeps getting involved at every turn. We saw what happened in the Awambye by-elections. That has got to stop. That doesn't have to wait for amendment of a certain law or whatever. It's already a law in place. Can we execute it that way? So colleagues on this side, whenever we talk about these things, and some of you, perhaps not all of you, some of you say, well, opposition, you're crying as usual. That's what happens. When a boat is sinking, no one is safe in a sinking boat. No one. And that's what is happening now. So you need to join us to say, we need to have integrity in. I was saying that all of us have got to speak in unison, that we need to have integrity in our democratic processes. Because when it happens to us, and you laugh about it, it's going to come. Because when this boat is sinking, regardless where you are seated, you know, I'm told in these cruises there is first class, also business, economy. Even if you're in the business of first class of that sinking boat, you will sink. The minister is asking for clarification. With the speaker's permission, I can take the clarification.
Yes,
let me take it.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity to seek clarification. He has kept on alluding on the name. Is it the look vote? The look vote? Yeah.
I can clarify, including members here being breezed, were NRM primaries.
Honourable members.
So I think I've clarified. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, I said before the internal processes. Now the internal processes leave it to the party. Yes, Honourable Board.
Leave matters of internal party issues to those that concerns them.
That is indoor management role.
Because I see some of the colleagues who cannot even go through a primary of 10 people. They are talking.
Thank you. Honourable members. Honourable members. Honourable members. I will want a report. Government will give you 2 months to give us a report of an investigation on Honourable Sechkubo's issue. Next item.
Item 3.
Honourable members, pursuant to Article 91(1) of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Rule 134 of the Rules of Procedure, report first.
Right, Honourable Speaker, Honourable members.
Criminality. Matters of internal processes will be handled by the NRM party. The issue of honourable, of both, if at all he used a chopper, it's right. He's a minister of that department. Why don't you question when I use it? Why don't you question when I use it? And if you also want, ask for it and you will be given.